Hello and a very warm welcome to your local part of the show, especially for the North East and Cumbria. On this week's show, a Tyneside charity warns that government changes to housing benefit could prevent some people from furnishing their homes. Also coming up, can UKIP under a new leader really win Labour-held seats in the region? Well, I'll be asking my guests that very question, who are the Labour peer Jeremy Beecham, UKIP North East Euro MP Jonathan Arnott, and also talking about that and ward closures at a local hospital in Northumberland is the Conservative MP for Berwick, Anne-Marie Trevelyan. Welcome to all three of you. But let's start with high-speed rail. And this week the government set out its preferred route to take HS2 to Manchester and Leeds. Now, ministers say passengers in the North East and Cumbria will benefit too, with more services and extra seats on the East Coast and West Coast main lines. And of course, there are hopes that Hitachi and New Naycliffe could end up building some of those new trains. So, Jonathan Arnott, £50 billion well spent is this going to be, or as some critics say, a giant vanity project?
Well, it seems to me that it's providing awful value for money, frankly. When you look at this project, it seems to be that it is providing fewer miles per pound spent than any project for high-speed rail anywhere in the world. It seems incredibly expensive. It's something which is only going to cut a relatively short amount of time off our train journeys, and at the same time it's costing tens of billions of pounds. The cost is spiralling out of control. You see the cost going up and up and up, and nobody really realised at first how much it was going to actually end up costing. And then you think how much we could actually do if we put that money into our regions across the UK, including here in the North East, and actually improve our roads and rail infrastructure that we've got at the moment. We could do so much more.
Vic Walton reporting. Jonathan Arnott, you're backing Paul Nussell for the leadership. Why will he deliver Northern MPs where Nigel Farage failed?
Well, look, I mean, any new leader is going to build on the legacy of Nigel Farage, and Nigel has taken this party a very, very long way, and he deserves an immense amount of credit for what Nigel has done for this party. But Paul, of course, is somebody who is a northerner. He gets it. He understands the north of this country. He understands the problems that we face, and he is somebody who has spent an awful lot of time, actually, across in this region, so many times that he's been across and helped out as deputy leader of the party. So he's got the internal experience, he's got the external experience, and he's also somebody who talks the right language, who's going to start broadening the policy base, who's going to make sure that we're not just talking about EU immigration, that we're talking about crime, which is an issue which is decimating our working class communities.
Wow. Crime is falling, isn't it? But anyway, we'll come back to that. So it's very low levels.
It has actually just gone back up fairly recently.
OK, all right, OK. It's the Phil Wilson question, really, isn't it? Theresa May is going to deliver Brexit. All the indications are that she will be strong on ending freedom of movement of Labour. What's the point of view?
I thought the Phil Wilson question was quite absurd, frankly. I mean, for him to say that UKIP have got policy confusion when he's a member of Jeremy Corbyn's Labour, I thought was a little bit rich. But no, UKIP have to be talking about issues that impact on working people. That's what I said. We broaden our appeal. It's beyond EU immigration. We talk about crime. We talk about democracy. We talk about how we're bringing power not just from the EU
you more than a
to
single
Westminster,
issue party. I mean, it was the EU that founded your success, and now that fox is shot, really, now we're leaving the European Union, it is a problem, isn't it?
You know what, I'll tell you something, Richard. When I joined UKIP in 2001, I didn't even at that time realise how big of an issue the EU was, how much it impacts on all our daily lives and how important it is to leave the European Union. At that time, when I joined UKIP, I actually joined UKIP based on the range of other policies that the party had. And that was 15 years ago, when we were still seen as a single-issue party. We're certainly not that, and we'll never be that.
OK. Jonathan Arnott, money's tight, benefit caps help control spending. I'm sure a lot of your supporters might be very sympathetic to that. But does this also chime with your party?
I think what you have to do is take a mature and reasoned attitude to this kind of thing. Of course, there were problems under the last Labour government when there'd been public sector overspend on just about everything, and of course there was a need to bring spending under control, and you can see what the Conservatives are trying to do with the benefit cap. Now, the problem that comes is that it seems that quite often it's a question of taking an axe to something without actually being very careful and making sure that you're not disadvantaging hard-working people now, or people who are on benefits. And quite often, one of the big problems in the benefit system, particularly impacting on families in the North East at the moment, is employment support allowance and cuts that are coming there. So there are a whole range of areas where I'm concerned about those cuts. But in principle...
OK, I'm ready for them.